Joining me right now is flyweight prospect JP Bays. Man, I thought your name was JP Bays the whole time, and then I find out on the Contender Series it's not. I'm sorry that I said your name wrong before, man. Apologies.
No, you're fine. It could be buys, but that would be more to my wife's side. She likes to buys everything.
Oh, all right, all right, all right. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. All right, all right.
Yeah.
Now, August 11th was the first date. Then they switched it to September 1st. Both those
Yes,
dates
sir.
got canceled due to the work permit issues. Take me through that whole ordeal and how it has been the last couple of months.
Man, I mean, it's been a crazy ride because originally my wife was scheduled to fight first in, I want to say, July
Mm-hmm.
on the Contender Series. And then the whole COVID thing happened. So I was preparing with her all through COVID for her fight in July. Then that got postponed. Then we kept preparing for the later date. Then I got the date as well. So we both had a date and we were pumped, like, okay, it's gonna happen. I didn't have a work visa at the time, but I've already been dealing with the lawyers and they're like, yeah, we're working on it. Then that fell through. The UFC and Mick and my coach say if they work together, they rescheduled me. So the preparation has just been a non-stop ongoing process. I mean, the only time I took off actually was after my fight, after my wife won the fight. I was like, I guess this is a sign. We both need to take a step back. We went on a little holiday, got everything out the system like we needed to. But literally, the day I arrived back from holiday, the next day I jumped into camp back on the mat. It was actually a sparring day. Coach said, hey, I want you at the gym. That was September 1st. Jumped into camp, and it's been a non-stop grind ever since.
It says something about Mick and the UFC that they continue to give you fight dates, right? Even though you had these issues, they have confidence in you and they're very patient.
I'd hope so, man. Like, first of all, I want to thank them. I want to thank the UFC. I want to thank Mick. I want to thank my coach. Like, it's not often where you get guys giving you multiple chances. I mean, it's all been out of my control. But yeah, I'm really grateful that they keep giving me the opportunity. And I'm really excited to showcase my skill set and hopefully impress them and make it worth their while.
So this time around, you have the work permit. There's nothing that's going to stop you from entering that cage.
There's nothing. The work permit's in my pocket. I should actually be carrying it around with me, make sure I don't lose it. But yeah, nothing is stopping me. I'm actually doing my pre-departure COVID test on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Kick that off, goes well. The weight cut's going well. Nothing is to stop us of like getting in a fight this time.
You know, week after week, seeing the Contender Series go by, watching fighters compete and get contracts, did the delay kind of play with your mind a little bit?
I won't say it played with my mind, but I'm just like every week I see the guys getting contracts. I see the fights. I'm like, man, that could have been me 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And when I saw Jimmy Flick win the fight, I'm like, damn, that could have been me. He got signed, could have been me, but could have, should have, would have, doesn't matter. I still got an opportunity. I know my time's gonna come, and at the end of the day, when the time's right, things will fall in place for you.
Going with your wife and watching her compete and have such a incredible performance and winning the contract, it must have kind of gave you that extra boost that you needed with, kind of feeling down because you had your fight canceled.
My fight got canceled, and I'm a foodie. I love food. If you speak to me, my wife's even fighting with me now. She's like, every time I see you, you're on your phone looking at food.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really like food. So when my fight got canceled, I became an emotional eater and I was eating around her. She was making me the most amazing desserts because she was cutting weight. So I was just sitting there getting the benefit of the food. And she went out there and she delivered an amazing performance. We went out the night. well, I don't want to say went out, but we went for our tradition. We got some food, got some donuts, celebrated her win. The next morning, before any of their eyes were open, I was on the road running, man. I was like, number one, I got to work this food off. Number two, it lit a different fire under my ass. It was like someone was standing there with a lighter just burning my ass. And I was like, hey, you got to work. Like, things are going to happen for you, but you can't just sit on your ass and take your wife's credit. You got to go out there and do your own thing.
With so much time that you have to get ready for this fight, the cancellations and everything, did you get to add anything, to your training or to your recovery that has benefited you?
Yes, sir. I actually have, and with this whole big thing and the long time that I had, I was originally still, for the third time, they rescheduled me and Nate Smith actually to fight, but that fell through as well. I guess that wasn't destined to happen. But training wise, I'm on the same schedule, always working, always putting in the time, day in, day out, full time athlete, me and my wife both, just grinding. So, from a training perspective, I don't want to say that I was able to add anything in my training. My daily routine stayed the same. But after my wife's amazing win, we really been blessed, man. Like, we've been taken care of. We were able to move houses. We were able to get some more sponsors. I got a really great sponsor that helped us out financially. We got a really good sauna sponsor, Sauna Space. They sponsored us an amazing sauna and red light therapy. I got a really good food sponsor. I mean, just after my wife, it's like everything has fell right into place for me. I got the work permit. I got a sauna. I got food sponsor. I got a financial sponsor helping out AG Tattoos, and it's just been awesome. As like, I haven't been sick once this camp. I have had no injuries. I'm literally 10 days away from the fight, shutting it down now. Just make the weight. So yeah, my recovery, my diet, financially, everything has taken off like a world's amount of stress off my shoulders.
That's great to hear, man. Now, with Nate Smith, what happened with him in that fight?
I actually have no idea what happened. I mean, I've obviously seen some of his posts and some of his social media. I've seen that he's had some family members pass away, and my sincere condolences go out to him and his family. I mean, I have no beef with him. We were just scheduled to fight, and he has one way of hyping a fight. I have one way of hyping a fight, but losing a family member and something like that is never easy, and I never wish that upon anyone. So I completely understand the situation he's in. Me, myself, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't see myself fighting. That's a big step. So yeah, like, I completely understand, and I wish to see him back in action pretty soon.
Definitely. Now, they replaced him with Jacob Silva, who actually competed over the summer, but he came up short. What did you think about his performance in that fight?
It's actually funny because that exact episode that Jacob fought against, who did he fight against? Jeff. He fought against Jeff Molina. I was on the way to sparring, and I watched the first fight in the car, and then I was sitting on the mat actually stretching, and like the phone was next to me, and I was watching. I wasn't really paying attention because I was getting ready to spar as well. So I didn't actually really get to watch much of that fight. And then after sparring, I look who was awarded the contracts, and I said to my wife, I was like, everyone got contracts except the winner of the flyweight fight. I was like, I wonder how that fight went. And it never really clicked that I should go back and watch that fight. I was just like, I don't know how the fight went, but I know they didn't get a contract. So I just assumed that it was a boring fight. But then when Jacob Silva's name got thrown in the mix and he got mentioned to me, I went out and actually went and I looked at that fight. And I was like, man, it was a banger of a fight. It was a really entertaining fight. So I was surprised that they didn't get the contract, So I understand he didn't get it because he came up short, but he was in that fight, and I was entertained with that fight. It was a really nice fight to watch. I think he has some really good skill. He's a real tough guy, and yeah, I'm excited to test myself against him.
Yeah, that fight was one of the best fights of the summer. And Jeff Molina, he did get a contract though. He won the
He
fight. He got
did.
the Yeah, he did. He's actually gonna fight in a couple months.
I saw he has a fight coming up, but I don't think he got the contract on the night. I think he got a short notice fight,
Oh,
or he
okay.
got
Maybe
called
I'm
up.
wrong.
I don't think he got a contract on that episode.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. But he does have a
But
fight in the
he did
UFC.
get, yeah, he got called up.
Yeah, so it works out. You know what I mean?
The win's a win. He's in.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
got it. Yeah.
Now you do a lot. When you watch your fights, you do a lot of work on the ground. That's where you get a lot of your finishes too. Do you look at this fight as a grappler versus striker matchup, or could we be in for a surprise since you've been out for so long? So you've been adding to the skill set.
I've been by the time I fight, I would be it would break my inactivity of 367 days. So that's a year and 2 days that I've been working at Fortis. And you look at Fortis's guys, man, they can throw down, So I kind of feel that I'm a sponge. I like to absorb and take from people and just learn. And truly, I come from a wrestling background, but I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and I kind of feel like the same way. I just like to absorb and learn different martial arts, learn from different people. The guys I train with are monsters. I mean, if you look at two of my main training partners the past weekend, we had Fernie Garcia win a great fight on the feet in LFA. We had Miles John with an amazing KO. I mean, that kind of stuff I only see on the cartoons, where the guy almost does a backflip. So I train with some really high-level guys, really good strikers, wrestlers, grapplers, MMA athletes, So who knows what's going to happen? Maybe me and Jacob stand there and we try to hit each other's heads off. Maybe we don't. I know he's also pretty good in jiu-jitsu. I think he's only been finished by submission once in his career, meaning he's no bum on the ground himself. I've seen on some of his stuff that he was originally scheduled to fight sometime for LFA before he got this call. And I also saw that he's going to be competing in a jiu-jitsu tournament, I think in December sometime. So, who knows where the fight's going to turn out. He's a martial artist. He's been training for a long time. He's been doing everything the same with me. And I guess it just happens, like whoever goes first, whoever does their game plan, who imposes their will.
Miles John, you just mentioned his incredible performance, man. It was crazy. That knockout
It
was
was
insane.
crazy.
It was 50K, like that's how good it was, right? And
Yeah,
you were
you're right.
helping him through that camp. I think he mentioned
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. I've been helping him through the camp. He's been helping me through the camp. But we main training partners. I mean, we same size. Me and him. No matter if we're in camp or not in camp, we're gonna be together against each other in the gym. We work together every day, every session. We full-time athletes, the both of us. So whether one has a fight, the other has a fight, or neither of us have a fight, we're pretty consistent and we always work together.
Are you in a different place mentally compared to last August when you were supposed to, fight originally?
I won't say. I will say I'm in a different space. Like last August, it was like basically coming out of quarantine, and I had my wife fighting. So it was like we had to share the table. We gotta like balance it out. The focus has to be on me. The focus has to be on her. But we were in a great space, and I mean, she went out and she delivered a performance that showed you which mind space we were in. But now this time, it's been all me, you know, like all the focus has been on me. She's been helping me at home. She's been helping me with everything. And I mean, that helps me a lot knowing that someone else is there, like motivating on tough days. She's there, like, hey, you can do it. On good days, she's like, hey, you're the best in the world. Like we don't have to kind of share that. I don't have to be like, hey, baby, you're gonna win, and she's like, hey, you're gonna win. It's just like she's putting all the steam into me, you know. So I would say I'm in a different space, and with all my sponsors that came on board, it's helped me a lot.
I know the fight game is unpredictable, but how do you see yourself winning that contract?
I see myself winning by a finish,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. You know, usually like when I lay down, I can like envision, like I lay down, I would see, okay, maybe before a fight, I see, oh, there's a head and arm choke, or there's a knockout, or there's a this. This time, whenever I close my eyes and I lay down, I just see myself with both my hands in the air, you know, fully extended, walking around that ring like I finished him. I haven't had the visualization yet of how, but yeah, I have been seeing myself winning.
All right. Last question. There is the money, there's the family, the fame, the titles, the competition. What is the motivation for you at this moment?
The motivation for me right now is my family. You know, I'm fighting right now to change my family, and when I speak about my family, I speak about my household. You know, there's a lot on the plate, and getting into the UFC, that's changing my life, and that's changing my household's life. My wife is in, I'm in, so I'm fighting to change our life. That's the real motivation right now.
All right. Well, November 17th, Dana White's Contender Series,
Yes,
UFC
sir.
Apex. You've been there before, man. All you got to do is go there and perform and get that
Can't
contract.
come soon enough. Can't
All
come
right.
soon enough.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
JP, man, it's always good catching up with you, man. And hopefully the next time we do speak, man, you're making the debut in the octagon.
Yes, sir. No, hopefully, definitely.
All
Definitely.
right.
Next time we speak, we'll have an interview about me stepping into the UFC.